Hi, friends. Very excited to have this conversation because I want to ask you what are the three things that you look for or you should look for when you are hiring a marketing or advertising agency or a marketing freelancer? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. What are the three things that you should look for? But before we get into that, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Maria Lloyd. I'm the owner of a marketing firm named Opens Clicks Cash, and I am also the author of a book titled Words Are Wealth. Now, I'm on a personal mission to help as many small business owners as possible reach their first six figures in business. If that mission resonates with you, I want to invite you to come along with me on this journey by simply liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and making sure that you hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when we post new content on this channel. So, what are the three things that you should be looking for if you're a small business owner and you have no knowledge whatsoever as it relates to marketing? What should you be looking for in a potential vendor or freelance marketer? So, before I answer that question, allow me to tell you a very quick story. So, every week I have the honor and the privilege of meeting with a number of small business owners from all around the world, right? And these small business owners are meeting with me with hopes that we can work together. Okay. And so I will tell you more times than not, by the time these small business owners approach me, they have already worked with marketing vendors or marketing freelancers. And unfortunately, they have felt that their money has been wasted, their time has been wasted, and their business is on the brink of some sort of catastrophe because they have not been able to get the results that they were seeking. And so, in my experience of meeting with these types of business owners day in and day out, week in and week out, there are some fundamental things that I'm noticing that they are missing when it comes to vetting the vendors or the freelance marketing professionals that they choose to work with. So, the first thing, and as I always say, if you see me look off to the side, it's just because I am looking at my notes, okay? I don't want to miss any points. So, the first thing that I am going to suggest that you do if you're currently in the process of hiring a marketing slash advertising vendor or a marketing freelance professional, the first thing you want to look at is the alignment and the type of clientele that they work with. Let's say that you end up working with a large firm ad agency and they typically work with your Fortune 500 companies, right? So these are major corporations that have a bottomless marketing budget and they can afford to spend a couple of millions of dollars, a couple million of dollars to hire some influencers and to run some commercials on TV and so on and so forth. So, unless your business is performing at the same level as the clients of this particular ad agency, the Fortune 500 clients of this particular ad agency, there really is no alignment. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that ad agency is used to working with, again, companies that have a bottomless marketing budget. Now, what does that mean though, right? Why is there a misalignment there? Well, the misalignment is that oftentimes a Fortune 500 company is merely running a campaign for branding purposes. They're not really in need of an immediate return on their investment. Meaning, if I am Coca Cola, for example, and I hire an ad agency to do some marketing for me, it's not because I need, X number of people to purchase Coca-Cola within the next 90 days. Now, of course, they have their internal goals and things like that, of course, but what I'm saying is that particular campaign that I've hired this agency to do for me doesn't necessarily have to lead to a direct and or an immediate return in investment. I am merely paying for awareness, right? I want to generate a buzz. And so that buzz may get me more followers on social media. It may get more eyeballs on my YouTube video. But aside from that, if I don't get more Coke sales out of that buzz in that immediate moment, I'm okay with that because I'm Coca Cola. But for you, for the small business owner who is bootstrapping, for the small business owner who has not reached at least 8 figures in annual revenue, you can't really afford to work with a company that is used to working with bottomless budget corporations, right? Because you actually need conversions to come from this particular marketing campaign. And so that's the first thing I would say. If you're noticing that the agency that you are considering a partnership with or that you're considering to hire works primarily with the big box major Fortune 500 corporations in the world, there's a bit of a misalignment there. Same thing with your freelancers. If you're freelancers, you're noticing most of their clientele entails some of the larger corporations in the world. Again, these companies that have a bottomless marketing budget, that's a misalignment, okay? So I would encourage you to find those companies that aren't necessarily attached to the major Fortune 500 corporations that have a bottomless or limitless marketing budget. You need to find the companies that work with companies that are similar to yours in terms of revenue, in terms of size, and even in terms of niche. Although I tend to believe that once you are a copywriter, which that's who I am, what I am. So once you are a copywriter, if you're, pretty good at what you do, you can transfer that skills to different sectors. But if it makes you feel more comfortable to work with a firm or a freelancer that has specifically worked in your niche, and most importantly, worked with businesses in your niche that are also the same size in terms of your team as well as revenue, I think you should go
Yeah.
for it. So that's the first thing. You want to look for some alignment in the types of clients that these particular vendors have worked with. Now, the next piece is goal alignment, right? So, as I mentioned previously, there are some ad agencies whose number one goal is not necessarily to get conversions. Their number one goal is to get a certain number of eyeballs on a YouTube video, a certain number of eyeballs on some Instagram reels, and so on and so forth. They're not necessarily tying those eyeballs or those views to sales, right? Because again, you've got to think from their perspective. Their objective is publicity. Their objective is to generate a buzz. Whether or not that buzz actually generates more revenue for the company really is no concern to them. But that's not what your objective is, right? Your objective or your goals are to generate a return on investment by way of revenue. And so it's important that whatever vendor that you decide to work with, whether you're working with an ad agency, a marketing agency, or a marketing freelancing professional, it's important that you and that individual or you and that company are in like perfect alignment as it relates to the goals. Because again, as a small business owner, as someone who is not generating at least $20 million per year in revenue, you want to make sure that whatever money that you're putting into a service has some sort of direct link to some revenue. And so that's why it's very important that you ensure that the goals are aligned, that this particular vendor is not simply trying to get you eyeballs, but they are also invested in what happens on the back end of that process. So, very important there. Now, third and final is having an agreement as it relates to the deliverables. So it's very interesting because I will speak to a prospective client and they will sometimes say, "Oh, well, I hired this person on Fiverr, I hired this person on Upwork, and I asked them to do this task and they only did parts of it. And so I had to hire someone else to do the part that the first vendor didn't do, and so on and so forth." Well, the problem is, by the time you come to a professional like myself, you have spent so much money trying to piece together all of these half completed projects that by the time you come to me, you're financially zapped and you're wanting a discount. And let me tell you, my team and I, we take pride in the work that we do. We are very much committed to continuing our learning, although we are experts in this space, right? But every year, my team and I, we are investing tens of thousands of dollars in continuing our education to hone our skills. So when you come to me, I'm not the person who's going to give you the discount, okay? I'm the person who's going to make sure that the job gets done and that we get you the conversions that you're seeking as a result of the work that we're doing for you. But you can't come to me after you've spent thousands and thousands of dollars with all of these, random freelancers somewhere. It doesn't work like that. So make sure if you decide to work with an agency, whether it's a marketing agency, an ad agency, or if you decide to work with a marketing freelancer, please, please, please make sure that you all are on the same page as it relates to the deliverables. Are they going to write the copy for your ads, for your paid traffic? Are they going to deliver an edited video that you can use as a reel and post on various social media channels? What is it that they are delivering on your behalf? This is very, very important. So you certainly do not want to miss this particular piece. So with that being said, as always, I want to thank you for your time. Please make sure if you have any questions or any comments that you drop them below in the comment section. And once more, I just want to remind you to please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so that way you'll know when my team and I release new content. With that being said, always remember, content is currency and words are wealth. I will check back in with you soon.